Okay, we'll give a demo of the music.
So we're sort of interested in, at the moment, a lot of the Perth musicians are undergoing a period where there's kind of failing audiences for live music in Perth. We're looking for new ways to get people interested in coming along to see their gigs, but also ways to address digital distribution for unsigned groups. So this is a bit of a nod to a MoMA project from a few years ago using Dead Drop's USB keys in buildings, but we've done it as a Wi-Fi access point, so we could put it in, say, the Perth Cultural Centre, where we've talked to the MRA, who would, given principle, have said they'd be happy to install it. And so the idea is that people can attach with their phone or their laptop or whatever in the Cultural Centre wirelessly and actually listen to some of those bands from Perth. Of course, now it's not going to work. This is always the way.
The other thing is that we could make a lot of these and distribute them to schools and local artists.
That's what a design might look like.
Yeah. Well, actually, Craig's product design has actually scoped it up. We can make one out of a real functional one out of fiberglass and concrete.
Yeah.
Right, so yeah, a bit like the Cow Parade Festival, where you get thousands of brightly painted cows all over a city. Except here, we're trying to make a useful object that becomes like a diversely translated or interpreted object by all the people who get into it, so that a bollard space, such as the Perth Cultural Centre, is a ready-made sculpture garden. So we have like a standard exoskeleton which we distribute to all the schools or artists. They do what they like with the internals of the bollard, and people then come in to see what all the
So as you can see, it's actually quite a lot of space in there.
We fit a theremin inside and the Wi-Fi music hotspot.
And finally, this is going to work. Hey! There we go.
Yeah, there are
so that's playing music directly from here.
Yeah.
So, and the range is quite wide. You could actually get most of the Cultural Centre with just one, but as I said, an interesting way to address.
Screen, swapping tunes.
And we love the fact
I found this band that I actually quite like. I might go and see them.
We love the fact it's offline too. So it's about unclouding the space and distributing locally, organically from the bollard.
Yeah, so I mean, local music direct to the local people, and also a little bit of like the Better Done project, looking at those issues of sort of government monitoring of services. This is obviously offline, so it's not part of that whole ecosystem. It's completely separate.
And you made it from scratch?
Yes.
Yes.
In a week. That's been manufactured from scratch.
Obviously, it would be somewhat more robust fractional deployment.
We're very lucky to have access to laser cutter and people who know how to operate laser cutter and.
Tim worked very hard on writing scripts so that actually all the notes that you play with the theremin are translated to sound.
So how much energy does it use? Does it have to have a power source, or could it be solar powered or something?
You'd probably want a power source, I think, and that's mainly because the theremins are quite sensitive about the power supplies, being sort of basically radio objects.
But not every bollard would have to be a theremin.
No,
you can do whatever you want.
Some could be purely visual, some of them could be very, very high tech. The idea is that we reclaim the bollards as a functional object, but also a beautiful and interesting object to interact with.
We're into the 1 minute question.
Just last one, we've costed that at $350 to do at a commercial production that functions as a bollard.
Good. Are there any patents potentially?
All open source.
Open source.
It's all already, the lights are on GitHub and the designs are
The design for the laser cut bollard will be on GitHub as well. Obviously it's not a functional bollard, but if you wanted to make one, and you had access to a laser cut,
different material.
Acrylic or whatever you have access to. Open source. So anyone can do it.
Yeah, fantastic.
And how complicated can the lighting be?
As long as you've got time for it.
In a week, that's what you get.
It can be as simple or as complex as you like. Last night I had the great idea that wouldn't it be fantastic if we actually use neons to give it that fantastic soft orange glow, and it was far too late to implement it for this one. Simple or as complex as you like. And the same goes for anything you want to put in it. As Scott said, it doesn't just have to be a theremin that flashes lights and makes strange
We've designed this as a sonic or music installation.
This is an example of a bollard that happens to do music and theremin. What we
that reflected our group's interests, I guess.
Is that we come up with a set of constraints. Here's a framework that we know meets all the city regulations for what a bollard actually has to do. Here's the internal space. Go for it, kids. Go for it, artists. Let's have a whole bunch of really interesting different bollards.
Any digital content could be
anything you want to share.
Well done.
Thank you, Theremin. Yes.
Excited.
But yeah, have a play if you have time.